You've probably heard that famous line from Alfred North Whitehead that all of European philosophy is basically just a series of footnotes to Plato.
Yeah, and it sounds like this huge overstatement.
It really does. But then you start digging in, and you realize he might actually be underselling it.
He really might be. I mean, Plato didn't just contribute to philosophy. He kind of built the entire operating system. He's the one who shifted our whole world from mythos, explaining things with gods and stories to logos.
To rational thought.
To rational investigation. And that's what we want to dive into today, right? How he tried to anchor truth in a world that felt like it was just floating away.
Exactly. And that whole quest really begins with his teacher, Socrates. And Socrates had this very specific, well, kind of annoying way of doing things.
Yeah, annoying's a good word for it. He wasn't some sage on a stage just handing out wisdom.
Not at all. He called himself a midwife.
A midwife. He said he was barren of wisdom himself, but he could help other people give birth to their own understanding. But the process was painful.
Brutal, yeah. He'd find someone who was completely confident they knew what justice was or courage.
And he'd just start asking questions. He'd cross-examine them until their whole definition just completely fell apart.
Which almost never ended with a neat answer.
Yeah.
It just ended in a stalemate, in aporia. You walk away knowing less than you thought you knew.
And for Plato, that was a terrifying place to be. I mean, if you can't define justice, then justice is just whatever the most powerful person says it is. And that's a crisis.
It's total relativism.
Exactly. And that's the crisis he had to solve. That's where his theory of forms comes in.
Okay, so this is his big move.
This is the big one. He basically argues that this world, the physical world we see and touch, it isn't the real world. It's always changing. It's defective.
It's a shadow.
It's a shadow. The real world is a realm of eternal, perfect, unchanging templates. The forms. So there's a perfect form of a chair or a perfect form of beauty.
And this brings us to the allegory of the cave, which almost everyone knows the basic setup for. Prisoners in a cave, watching shadows.
Right, but I think we get so caught up in the image of the shadows that we miss the most important part.
Which is?
The journey out. It's not this happy little stroll into the sunshine. Plato describes it as agonizing. Education is the turning of the soul, and you have to be dragged away from the darkness. It hurts your eyes. It's completely disorienting.
So truth isn't just about learning new facts. It's a fundamental painful transformation you have to go through.
Exactly. And he maps that internal struggle onto our own psychology. He didn't see the self as this one unified thing.
Right, he saw it as fractured, the tripartite soul.
Yeah, a kind of. Civil war inside you. You have reason in your head, loving truth. That's the cold part.
Then there's spirit in the chest, your sense of honor, anger, ambition, the silver.
And then down in the gut you have appetite, all the basic desires, food, sex, money, the bronze. And justice for a person is when reason is in charge of the other two.
And this is the part that's just wild to me. He takes that blueprint of the soul, and he builds a city out of it. The Republic is the soul writ large.
It is. His ideal city, Callipolis, is organized in exactly the same way. The rulers are the philosopher kings, the gold souls ruled by reason.
The soldiers, the silver souls, are driven by spirit to protect the city.
And the producers, the farmers, the craftsmen are the bronze souls, driven by appetite, providing for everyone. Everyone has their place.
Which, let's be honest, it sounds incredibly rigid. It sounds like a blueprint for a totalitarian state.
And that's the huge modern criticism. The philosopher Karl Popper absolutely savaged Plato for this. He said the Republic was the first blueprint for a closed society for totalitarianism.
But that's not the only way to read it, is it?
No, not at all. Other thinkers, like Leo Strauss, have argued that we're taking it way too literally.
So it could be a thought experiment.
It could be. Or even irony. I mean, Plato calls it a city in spuch. The word utopia literally means no place. He might have been trying to show us that a perfectly just city is actually impossible, that this is a warning, not a guide.
So whether he was a visionary or a satirist, he left us with this foundational idea, this cognitive optimism.
That's a great way to put it. The belief that the universe isn't random chaos. It's rational. And our minds, our souls can actually grasp that reality.
So to wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought, connecting back to that cave. Plato's prisoners stared at shadows on a wall, completely convinced it was reality. In an age where we spend so much of our lives staring at digital screens, at curated feeds designed to look like reality, are we arguably more trapped by shadows now than they ever were? Something to think about. Thanks for the deep dive.